Hey, hello everybody, my name is Coolblue and I'm bringing you guys vlog number 15. This one is going to be a nice little community related one, of course, because that's what the vlogs are supposed to be about. And this one's actually kind of cool because it's about patch notes. This one is referring to the patch notes that came out on May the 30th of 2014. If anybody doesn't know about those patch notes, they'll be linked in the description below, so definitely click on those to see exactly what I'm referring to. One key thing that has been causing a lot of conversation within the community, which I think is great for the community. I think the conversation is great for the community. You can argue whether this specific thing is good or bad for all of us in general, but I think it's healthy that we're talking about it because we do need to talk about this. This is an issue, and I think some people are not seeing the full issue as opposed to seeing, and they're just trying to see like the thing, how it affects them. So anyway, without further ado, the whole entire patch note is one specific thing. Items now drop for all league types with more than 500 spectators. The number of drops increases the more spectators there are. That patch note alone has caused a lot of conversations. I've seen many threads on Reddit. I've also seen many threads on the Join Dota forums, and I'm pretty sure if I looked, I could find some other threads all over the place. But the main thing is that people are people are kind of debating the whole entire effect that this will have on the amateur scene. A lot of people are arguing that the item drops is what made them want to go watch the amateur tournaments, and I am going to be in the exact opposite spectrum of the whole entire thing, because I was an admin for a tournament, the Sunday Evening Cup series, and they had item drops when like the last season that I admin for them. They had item drops on the last season, and I witnessed once where a team was purposely feeding so that people who were watching could get item drops because their friends were watching. And there's like maybe 50, 60 spectators, something like that. Maybe it hit 100 at a certain point. But they were just like, just feeding couriers. I fought 3 couriers and sent them to go die. And then they went and dealt with the fountain and got a multi-kill here or there. And then somebody bought back and got another multi-kill. It was like stuff like that was happening. And I thought, me personally as an admin, I'm thinking, holy crap, this is bad for our tournament. Valve is probably going to crack down pretty darn hard if we don't do something about this. So I'm over here as an admin panicking. It's like, okay, now I need to make sure I pull both the teams and say, hey guys, this is not cool. What you guys have done is not a good thing. There's going to be some repercussions for both these teams. Basically, it was a disqualification for the team that was actually doing the whole entire "we killed you" and then we like bought a courier, sent it to the fountain. Guys, I'm not joking. They were literally at the enemy's base. They bought like a courier, sent it to the fountain. Then they bought another courier like after the timer, like 10 seconds, sent it to the fountain. And I'm like, if that's not blatant item feeding, I don't know what is. So that happened. And the repercussions were, of course, they disqualified this tournament, and I also got a warning that if this does happen again and I catch wind of it, then they're pretty much banned from this whole entire season of the SECS, and that was my ruling. Like, I stood by my ruling, I made my ruling, and I called it. That's what it was. And then, of course, people were upset about the whole entire call, and the team members contacted the super head admin, like the guy way up top, like way above me, the one who's actually organizing this whole entire thing and allowing us to actually have the SECS. Like, I'm just an admin on the ground. And they said, hey, this admin is being like a jerk. It's like, this happened and it's not cool. What's going on? And then I get a message, of course, I'm expecting this, but I get a message back from the head admin saying, hey, you're being too tough. Like, what the heck? It's supposed to be like a enjoyable tournament. It's supposed to be for fun. It's supposed to be a casual tournament. And I'm just thinking, like, these guys are competing for $100 every week. I mean, that's money. When you start putting money into the situation, then you have to be very careful about how you do things. And I'm definitely very careful about how I did things. And all I know is if people caught wind that somebody's feeding items like this, and then they're like getting more viewers and stuff, I mean, somebody might say, hey, that's not fair. This guy should be disqualified because I want the $100. And it just becomes touchy. So it's just best to be like super strict and on top of the thing like that. So anyway, long story short, the team didn't play for the rest of the tournament. The next tournament, it probably happened again, but I didn't catch one of it, and it all just went on like that. I did keep logs back when I was an admin for the SECS just to prove that what I'm saying is actually happened. So if you guys want to go read them of the whole entire situation as it unfolded relative to when it happened, that will be linked in the description below as well. Just a clarification point: both teams that were involved were actually banned for 1 week, which means that the next week they won't be able to play. Or they weren't able to play, but that's really about it. And actually, oh, I have a video on it too. Hold on, I just saw about that. I'll go find it and I'll link it up here. But it'll be like a little video. Maybe like a little video link right over there. So click on that if you guys want to go check that out. That was like a SECS report. That was a little video series I was doing when I was an admin. I felt legit because it was all cool and stuff. But I basically discussed in detail what happened and why I did what I did. So go check it out. That's my story. That's something that I've actually personally experienced as a tournament admin, and that's something that I'll always take with me whenever I read stuff like this. Whenever I read effects like the item drops, or you have to have 500 spectators or more. Because personally, I think it's kind of shady if you run a tournament and you finally get a ticket and Valve approves it, and you get like 60 spectators, and then one of the team says, "Hey, a bunch of my friends are watching because I told them about it," and I'm gonna go ahead and just like run to the fountain as nature's prophet, like TP to the fountain and just die like 20 times or something like that. I mean, that's, well, of course you won't get an item drop for that, but you will get an item drop if multiple people die to one person. And that can easily happen, that can easily be coordinated between the teams, and that is easily abusable. And I'm pretty sure that's what Valve was seeing a lot of, because they have access to all this data on how many item drops happen in a certain tournament. And I'm pretty sure they've seen a lot of events that happen, especially on the amateur side, because it's more common on the amateur side, because not many people know about these tournaments, and there's a lot of amateur tournaments out there. But I'm pretty sure they sat down and looked at the numbers and said, okay, this tournament had, over the course of 20 games, had about 200 unique viewers, and on top of that, they had 130 item drops per game. Like, something ridiculous like that. It's like, okay, somebody's obviously abusing the system. Either one team just really sucks at this game, or both teams are coordinated and say, hey, let's go ahead and do some item drops because I have a bunch of my friends watching this and I want them to get some item drops, like some heroic items, because those things go for a lot of money, surprisingly, on the Steam market. And it just makes it feel cool to know that you got an item drop. And also, on top of that, you have people watching the live stream who might be trying to do some item farming, and it's like, it just gets to a situation where it becomes much easier for them to say, okay, you need to have this many viewers before we actually qualify for you for item drops, as opposed to saying, okay, your tournament has officially abused the system, we're going to go ban your tournament completely from this whole entire, like, from being on Dota TV, and you guys need to fix yourselves, and you have like a 1-month ban and all stuff, because if you think about it, that's going to take a lot of extra work for Valve to actually implement, and they're going to have to go through every single tournament who's ever abused the system. All this goes a super long way to explain to you guys why I think the way I think about this whole entire 500 spectators before item drops happen. And I do honestly think that it's a really good trade-off, because what you're getting on top of this limitation of you must have 500 spectators is that you're also getting the benefit of scaling, which is, I think, another thing that people are just kind of ignoring, because they're a little bit more upset about the fact that you have to have 5 spectators to get item drops, because they're like, oh darn, now I'm not going to be able to farm items for my amateur tournaments that I don't even care about, like that one cup from Bulgaria that I don't really understand what's going on, but I just watch it for item drops, or that one tournament from Canada that I just watch because I want item drops. Like, people who think like that are kind of the reason why this whole entire system is in place. And there's also the other flip side, where the players who are actually in the game who actively think like that, they're also the reason why this system is in place, but that's a whole entire other conversation, guys. The scaling factor is really nice, because I don't know how many times I've watched the TI 3 games, and like the whole entire course of the game, like when a multi-kill happens, like 2 people get items out of 6,000 viewers, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Only 2 people get items and there's 6,000 people here? That is ridiculous as crap. Like, that was the stupidest thing about the TI3 that I think by far made me not want to watch the TI3 games live, because it's like, why would I watch this live? There's absolutely a 0 chance, actually no, it's not a 0 chance, 0% chance. There's a very small % chance for me to actually get an item drop watching the TI3 game, which I know for a fact if I get an item drop for like a TI game, like the International, for Dota, then I'm going to be like cherishing the crap out of that item. Like, I don't care if it's a bracer for Omni Knight, I'm going to cherish the crap out of it, because, you know what, I won that from TI, and it was like 6,000 people there, but the item came to me. That made me feel good. But that made me feel upset, because I was like, it's like 2 items out of 6,000 people, like, where's the math? I mean, that's the chance of you actually getting something is actually very stupidly slim. But recently I watched the TI3 game live, and there was like something happened, and it said like, this person got an item, this person got an item, this person got an item, and 9 other people. I was like, holy crap, that's a lot of people. There's a chance I might actually get an item drop. So I felt a little bit more motivated to actually watch the game, and that right there is in itself what people felt when they watch amateur tournaments, which is where their arguments come from, when they say, oh my gosh, this is going to kill the amateur scene, mainly because Well, these are teams that are no names. Maybe they're playing pretty badly, but this team's kind of decent. This is kind of enjoyable to watch a Pudge hit every single, like, 25% of his hooks. And then you watch a Crystal Maiden who dies every single time she shows up. And, oh, by the way, we have a Vlad's first Lycan who went for Roshan at, like, the 6-minute mark because he farms his Vlads that fast or something like that. And it's like you're just watching textbook Dota, and you're watching some Dota that's not really exciting, but there's item drops. So if some multi-kill does happen, you're like, oh my gosh, I got an item, because there's only 60 of us here, and I'm one of the people who were here, obviously, and I had a higher chance, so I actually got an item drop. So I'm still motivated to watch this game all the way through, because I know as the game goes on, somebody's going to get a multi-kill, somebody's ancient is going to die, somebody's going to get first blood, and there's going to be a courier that dies. Hopefully there's going to be a courier that dies, even if it's just at the end where somebody's like, I give up, I'm throwing my courier at you. So that was a motivation for people to keep watching, and I do understand that side as well, because like I said, the whole entire TI thing, I was a little bit more motivated to watch TI 4 games because I knew there was a high chance for me to get item drop, and I know that those items will be super valuable once you get into the market. And just to mess with you guys' minds a little bit more, the whole entire 500 spectator thing is influenced by the market as well, because there's been, I don't want to necessarily say there's been a flood of items on the market, but if you go to the Steam market and you go just look up heroic items, which is what the item drops are called when you get them from games, and there's like a ton of heroic items on that market, and they're all going for like at least $3. You got Team 1, like Team Fire, heroically in battle killed Essence from Team Pi or something like that. And it's like 2 teams you never heard of. Like, these guys, who are these guys? It's just a fly-by-night team. But that item's going for like $3 and more because it's heroic. It has a status and it has the rarity that people want with their items. And if you know that person, then you probably want a little bit more because it might be your favorite player. They might be a new up-and-comer. You never really know. So that's why the 500 spectator limit is there, because a lot of items exist on the market with teams that people don't really know about. And it's kind of ridiculous that they can go for that much, and people can and will buy them. And it's just, to me, I always think it's a weird thing, because I'm always thinking, like, I don't think any virtual item should be worth more than like 20 bucks at most. Because I feel like if I really wanted it that bad, I can either, well, of course I can just go buy it flat out, which would probably cost more than 20 bucks. Which I still think is ridiculous. Like, the Valve's pricing is, I honestly think, is silly. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about the item drops. Focus, Gold Blue. Focus. Things on the market, they can go for some pretty high prices. Like, there's a, oh man, what is it? The Greevil. The Fez Greevil. Yeah, the Fez Greevil goes for $98. I think that's the cheapest you can find it. Which I thought I was like, whoa, this thing's going for $98? That's like almost $100. That's a lot of money. And on top of that, my Really Liquid that I have in my inventory, that thing is going for, I think, $35 right now, and it was at one point going for 60, something like that. And the price is just going to go up and up and up as it becomes more and more rare. Like, the further we get from TI3, the more valuable it's going to get. And I think that that's a cool thing that people really wanted that bad, because there are people who are hardcore collectors, just like there are people who are hardcore collectors of Yu-Gi-Oh cards or Pokemon cards or maybe Magic cards, and that just want that super rare card just to complete their collection. The same thing exists in Dota. The same thing exists in Team Fortress 2. Same thing exists, heck, the same thing exists in crap, what's the other game? Counter-Strike. All that exists, all that happens, and people really want to collect their items. So there's a market out there for it. So I'm not gonna like crap on the market too hard, but I still think, me personally, I think it's like kind of silly. So anyway, other things that this patch brought us, besides more things to talk about, more things to complain about, is of course the awesome item sets. And I think the most beautiful immortal item that came out from this whole entire market was of course, that Crystal Maiden headdress. Like, that thing is gorgeous. Look at it. It's beautiful, ain't it? I would totally wear that. Yeah. But yeah, there are other cool things like the coveted DK item, which I think the Dragon item looks really cool. The Kindred or the Iron Dragon, that goes for like $5 on the market right now. You also have the Rampant Outrage coming from Axe. I have one of those. I actually traded a Mary Ward's brush, which is Puck's item, for that item. So that's cool. And I think by far the coolest item is still Sniper's Gun, because it sounds really awesome. Like, it sounds like an it just sounds cool. It reminds me of Team Fortress for some reason. So anyway, there's that. That's going to be it for this video. So if you guys want to check out some of the other videos, which is vlog number 14, which I talked about Rage, you can check out that link right over there. It'll be in that video. Click on that if you guys are watching on the web browser on YouTube. If you guys aren't, don't worry about it. It'll probably be somewhere referenced in like your recommended things over on the sides or whatever side it is. If you guys want to check out the vlog channel, which is still not up yet, but it will be soon, I promise. The link is right there. It will be right there at least, and it will be replaced with the it will be a placeholder that says coming soon for now, but it will be there. And last but not least, if you guys want to check out my YouTube page, it'll be right there, youtube.com/coolbluedota. That is CULBLU Dota. That's where you guys can find me if you want to check out my stuff. The vlog channel, like I said, will be up soon. And by soon, I mean eventually. And by eventually, I mean hopefully eventually. Because I just need, honestly, all I need to do is just make it and just make some graphics for it. Like, it's not that hard. I'm just being lazy. And that's basically it. So, like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it. Please leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys want to hear in the future, what you guys liked about this video, what you guys, of course, didn't like about this video. And that's going to be it for this video. So, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And as always, I'll see you guys whenever.